Good morning, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm back with the second day of our T Speaks encouragement for this week. And if you missed yesterday, I strongly encourage you to go back and watch it because that sets the foundation for the rest of the week and what we'll be talking about this week. So just a little recap. That's why I said you should go back and watch it, but because I'm going to give you just a small recap. So we are coming out of 2 Kings 4, 1 through 7. That's 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. And we'll be speaking about the widow's oil and how she had to act in obedience. So her oil, I broke down oil in an acronym. Obedience ignites the lift. That is what the acronym is that we will be working out of this week. So yesterday I kind of gave you the foundation, the base. Today I'm going to speak to you about obedience and the importance of obedience and understanding that you must obey even if it feels uncomfortable. You must obey even if it seems like you're going into the unknown. You have to obey. You have to be in obedience. And that is, so to me, that obedience looks like obeying a command of my pastor or a request of my pastor. That could look like obeying and yielding, honoring my overseer or my bishop, honoring my pastor as well. That could also look like obeying my parents, even at the age that I am now. Obeying my parents is definitely a sign. It's definitely a implementation. It's an implementation of obeying God. And if you are disobedient to your parents, no matter what age you are, if you're disobedient to your parents, then you in turn are disobeying God. So the widow didn't understand why she was taking the oil. She didn't understand that the oil was going to flow. Even in that moment, I'm pretty sure she was like, oh my gosh, like it's still flowing. I'm pouring and it's still flowing. That is the importance of obedience, because sometimes it's not going to flow. Your oil is not going to flow until you obey. Sometimes your oil is not going to flow until you act in that obedience and move. Sometimes your oil is not going to flow until you do something maybe uncomfortable, like going to go knock on neighbors' doors. I'm pretty sure that was an uncomfortable move for her, but she acted in obedience, and because of her obedience, she had an abundance. She had an abundance, and she was able to not only pay back the debt that she was left with, but she was also able to live comfortably with her and her boys, with her and her sons. She was able to do that and live comfortably. So it's important that you act in obedience. Again, sometimes your obedience to God feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it looks like you're going into a dark lane and you don't understand or you don't know the outcome on the other side. But it's important that you follow through with that obedience, because, what's waiting on the other side is greater than your uncertainty that you're walking in with. And don't step in it with fear of the unknown. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but don't step into it with the fear of the unknown. Step into it with the faith, knowing that God has everything all under control. Step into it with faith. That's the most important thing. When you walk in obedience, don't let fear stop you, or don't let fear back you down. Don't let fear push you away, but continue to walk in faith, in knowing that God is on your side. Faith in knowing that He already has everything worked out on the other side of that darkness. Faith in knowing that I may be uncomfortable for a moment, but it's going to get me comfortable. It's going to get me to a comfortable position. Not a stagnant position where you stay still, but a comfortable position for a moment. And then in turn, you're going to continue to grow and you're going to continue to elevate. But as you do that, other things are going to come up and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. But it's important that you stick with it. It's important that you stand true to what it is that God has called you to do. Sometimes that obedience to us mothers looks like backing away from your kids. Sometimes that obedience as mothers looks like backing away from your kids, taking a little bit of the load off of your kids, understanding that yes, they're still your child, but giving them free range to a certain extent, but giving them free range to let them hear God speak to them for themselves. They can't necessarily hear God just like us. We can't hear God if people are overbearing on us. We can't hear God if we're in a space where I got this person in my ear and I got that person in my ear and everything is going on around me and I don't know which way to go out. But I'm supposed to be focusing on God, but I don't know which way to go. So even us as adults, we face that as well. So us as adults face situations like that, then we as mothers and fathers need to understand that our kids face situations like that as well. We need to understand that they too are on their own separate walk with God. So they may be hearing something that we may not hear. That doesn't mean that they're disobeying us. That doesn't mean that they're being disrespectful to us. That doesn't mean that they're being rude to us. That just means that they're hearing from God in a different way, in a different manner. I spoke yesterday on how I had to pull back a little bit. I had to tap into the village that I had, and I had to step away and understand that it's okay for my children. It's okay for them to go and open up to somebody else. It's okay for them to go and utilize the village that has been put together for them. That is there for the benefit of them. That is a part of their God-ordained crew and your God-ordained crew. Sometimes if you want to get a message across to your child, sometimes you need to go and talk to your God-ordained crew, your village. Go and talk to somebody that you know that you can trust and maybe ask them, hey, can you help me get this message across to my child? Pray it out to God. God, please help me get this message across to my child. But sometimes when we go and we nag, just like we don't want them mom, just like we don't want them doing that to us, we need to understand and give them that same respect. Understanding that yes, we are still their parents, but also understanding that they too are human beings and they too are on their walk with God, just as we are on this journey with God. And our walk is not going to get them in, just like their walk is not going to get us in. So we need to understand that, and we need to obey the commands of God and let them have that free range to God on their own. Let them have that free range to explore on their own to a certain extent, like I said, because there is a way to handle situations like that. There is a way to explore throughout situations like that. So understanding that they are still our children, understanding that they are still going to obey what it is that we say, and they're still going to respect that boundary as a parent and child relationship. But we need to also understand that as a child of God, and even as a child to our parents ourselves, just like our parents ended up having to give us free range to learn on our own, we have to be able to do that for our children as well. If we become too overbearing, we push our children away. Trust and believe, take it from me. Take it from me. I'm not going to get too much into it, but if we become too overbearing, or if we become like, just come talk to me, nag about a situation or about a circumstance, something that may have happened or something that may be in their mind. If we nag, it's going to push them away. Think of it like a relationship, like a husband and a wife relationship. If a wife is going to nag about a husband, eventually that's going to push him away, and vice versa. If a husband is going to nag, instead of saying, let's take a breath, let's take a break, let's take a step away from one another for a moment, go seek God, and then come back and rationalize together. That is what we should be doing with our children. Let them take a break. Sometimes you guys need that break. Sometimes you need that step away to understand that you can go talk to God, I can go talk to God, you can go take your breath, I can go take my breath, and then together we can come back in a civilized manner, in a respectful manner, and in a way that doesn't take away from that parent-child relationship, in a way that doesn't take away from that parent-child boundary, and in a way, even like I said, husband and wife, even in a way that doesn't take away from that husband and wife boundary as well. So I hope and pray that something that I said today has ignited you to obey the command of God. I hope and pray that something that I have said has jilted in you, made you move, made you shift, made you transition even in your mind, and understand that it's important to obey God. I want you to leave in the comment section for me, my obedience opens doors. My obedience opens doors. And for those of you that journal, what instruction has God given you that you have not yet obeyed, or that you have not yet understood? So you step back from that lack of obedience, because not moving and not understanding is still a sign of disobedience. So what instruction has God given you that you have not yet obeyed? What instruction has God given you that you have not yet obeyed? I'm just going to repeat that question one more time just in case. What instruction has God given you that you have not yet obeyed? And I hope and pray that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a great, happy Tuesday. And I will be back with more He Speaks encouragement tomorrow. Have a great one, and I love you all.